Welcome to Meet Houston Missions and the Simmons and Fletcher Local Missions Podcast. I'm the host, Paul Cannon, managing partner at Simmons and Fletcher. This podcast is about connecting people who have a heart to volunteer with local missions in the Houston area that can give them a place to volunteer and be a part of something bigger. So if you want to be a part of something bigger, join and watch some of these episodes, learn a little bit about them. Today, we have a very special guest, Andrea McLaren, who is the founder of JJ's Home of Refuge 316. And she's going to tell us a little bit about what they do and why she felt compelled to create this mission, this organization, and then give you an opportunity to find out how you can get involved. So without further ado, Andrea, first of all, tell us a little bit about JJ's Home of Refuge 316.
Yes. Hi. Thank you for this opportunity.
Very well.
Well, I'll start by saying JJ's Home of Refuge 316 is built off of the love of God and just having a heart for people who need to know that they're loved and valued and they're not forgotten. And so JJ's Home of Refuge mission is to support, empower, and teach life skills for girls who have aged out of the foster care system. And when they turn 18, that's what happens. They age out and they're basically told, hey, it's time to go, pack up your bags. And they're just trying to figure out, like, where am I going from here? They have not been really trained or taught anything simple like how to budget, how to cook a simple meal. As you know, we've all been 18 before, and there's just still so much nurturing and guidance that they need at that age. And so that's what JJ's Home of Refuge is setting out to do, and that's to be there for them, offering them support in different areas. Trauma, most of these kids have endured a lot of trauma in their life, from just even childhood, from neglect to abandonment, rejection, all the things. And so we're wanting to pick up where the system has left off and to train them, teach them, nurture them, but mainly provide a safe place where they can heal and thrive and go to the next level in their life.
So what I understand, as you're saying, with the people that you're serving, we have kids. Obviously, there's thousands and thousands of kids in Texas and nationwide that are going through the foster care system for whatever reason, and the state provides funding for them to be cared for by these families. But once they hit 18, the state says, you're cut off, you're on your own, we're not going to provide for you anymore, and they're now expected to go figure out how to provide for themselves without a support system, without a family, without anybody they can necessarily go rely upon to do this. Is that correct?
That is very much so correct. And that's the heartbreaking part about it all. It's very lonely out here for these youth. At the age of 18, they're still babies. And the fact of just knowing the whole thought of, where am I going to go? And so we don't want them to have to endure that. We want to provide a safe, loving home for them where they can feel loved, feel appreciated, feel like they matter, and that someone cares.
Wow. How many kids are hitting 18 each year out there? Do you have any kind of numbers or stats on that or ideas?
Well, I can say this, it's thousands of them here in Houston. And not only that, but we're not going to even talk about the sex trafficking industry and human trafficking, because that's normally what happens. When they come out of the system, they are searching for something. And normally it's the world that's pulling on them. And so they go in that direction. And so we are wanting to do our best to prevent that from happening, that won't even be an option, that we can just come in and just take them under our wing and keep them safe and protected from the elements.
Wow. And I know I've done a lot of these interviews with some of the human trafficking organizations that are out there, and heard the stories. And there are organizations and predators and criminal enterprises that will just prey on these kids that suddenly have nothing to support them, and they offer a false sense of support and hope, and they drag them into a lifestyle they don't want to be a part of, and that's what you're trying to make. You're trying to create a bridge to stop them from happening, so they get to adulthood instead of going down this other road that turns them into something dark and sinister. I think that's awesome. Well, tell me a little bit about JJ's Home of Refuge specifically. I know you guys are a fairly new organization. How long have guys been? How long you been out this? I should say.
So let me just say this. I was looking at my paperwork today, and today is February 20th. And that was the day that we received our 501c3 status from the IRS as tax exempt. And I was just like, wow. So today makes 2 years exactly that. So I know that this is all God, that this is our 2-year anniversary. So we are just, I'm excited. Again, it's a lot, just really getting started. We're actually looking for a home. So what's happening now is that I am mentoring girls. Like I'll meet up with girls and I mentor them. I provide things that they may say that they need. If they're in college, I, support them. If they need help with their work, just being that support that they need, because just because they are in college, a lot of them still don't have families. And so I'm still just doing it with them on the outside, until we can find a home, and then we'll be secure and we'll know that we can officially get started. But as far as the paperwork, the logistics, and all that, it's a done deal. We're just looking for a home now, and we're building our team. So I have a pretty good team that I'm building now, full of different areas and departments that will serve in different areas in terms of counselors, therapists, volunteers that will be volunteering for different fundraising events and things like that. So again, we are in the beginning stages. And so startup right now is everything, so that we can get a house and we can get started with changing lives of these girls, so they don't have to wonder, where am I going to lay my head, and just being afraid. I talk to a lot of them and they're in fear. They get anxiety at the thought of having their 18th birthday. And so it shouldn't be like that. It shouldn't be. And it's not enough of these organizations here in Houston. There's homeless organizations, but there are not really that many who are catering specifically to this population of aging out of the foster care system. So it's a much needed initiative. And I know that once we get started, it's going to take off.
Wow, that's awesome. It sounds like this is an opportunity if people want to get in on the ground floor and really help build a mission from the ground floor up. This would be an opportunity for somebody to volunteer, and specifically if they have any kind of counseling services or educational services or anything that they could help, I guess, teach life skills and basic basic survival skills to kids that are basically going out on their own now, and facing the world. And many of them, I mean, it's not like you're housing all of these kids. A lot of them you are simply providing support to when they're maybe either at school somewhere or have another place to live, and you're kind of counseling them. But it sounds like your goal then is to ultimately have a home where they could also go if they need to while they're in this transition phase, where you could kind of provide them shelter while they're trying to get back on their feet. Is that correct?
Absolutely. So that's the goal. It's to have a transitional home. And what that would look like is that, let's say I start off with 3 or 4 girls at a time, just to get started, because the whole idea is that I want to provide one-on-one attention. And so I don't want to have too many at one time, and someone is lacking. And so the fewer the better for now. just so that we can pour into them individually, give them that individual attention and care, and just really giving them, setting the foundation for them as well, because they've been through so much and it's all of this is new to them. Just the thought of having their own bedroom where they can just, have privacy and be able to just relax and know that I'm finally safe now. So that's the thing. Yeah. So the whole idea is they would be in that home for 18 months. So they would live in the house for about a year and a half. And we feel that that's enough time from my experience and working with this population. About a year and a half is enough time to get them where they need to be mentally, emotionally, and also with the life skill aspect. And we gauge them. We're going to do quarterly progression meetings with them just to see where they are and how they are uh, improving, and the things that they're doing is in terms of how they're growing and learning and evolving. And as we gauge them, we'll know that at the end of the 12-month cycle, okay, um, now they can live independently for about 6 months in the house. So the whole idea is that I would transition out of that house into another house and give these girls the opportunity to see how they do on their own without someone managing them, so to speak, because we want to promote independence and self-sufficiency. So it's not a place for them to just live there for the rest of their lives. It's a place for them to get the tools that they need, use them, and then go out and have their own place. We want them to have their own place at some point.
Wow. Okay. Well, that's a huge, huge goal that you've got to be able to serve girls and I guess kind of transition them and get them moved on so the next generation can come in and you can assist them as well. Tell us a little bit about, before I get into the details of that, I guess, let me ask you this. Who is JJ and how did the JJ's Home of Refuge come about as specifically?
I love it. I love when people ask this question. So JJ is for Jehovah Jireh, the God who provides. And so that's what the JJ is all about. It's not my nephew's name or initials or anything. It's our God who provides. JJ,
Awesome.
Jehovah Jireh.
And tell me also, who is Andrea McLaren? What is your background with this, and what made you want to be involved in this specifically?
So my background is education, and so I love children. I have a heart for kids. I just They've just been drawn to me. I don't have any biological kids of my own, and so I'm a natural magnet for kids. I don't care where I go. I could be in the grocery store. There's this baby smiling and waving at me. It's just I don't know. I just have that whatever I have, and so that's just happened like that. That it just and I noticed from working in other I've worked for several group homes, so to speak, and I saw the need. I've had babies literally cry at night asking for their mom and asking, why am I here? Did I do something wrong? Just all these different emotions. And I just saw that it was just such a need for healing and support in these kids, these youth.
Wow. Well, so tell us a little bit about what kind of volunteer opportunities your organization has now, and what sorts of things you anticipate looking for in the future, I guess.
So the volunteer needs, I would, so right now we're planning a big event. I'll say that for December. So that's towards the end of the year. But we're going to do some things before that, of course. But for December, I want as many people to come out and support us as possible. We're going to have what we call a sneaker ball, and it's been on social media. So what that is these young ladies will dress up in formal gowns and they will wear sneakers. And we're going to do a fundraiser with that. We're going to have fun. They're going to just feel love, feel, valued, dressing up, and the tennis shoes just kind of puts a little twist to it. And we're just going to have a great time. We're going to have speakers. We're going to have food. We're just going to have an amazing time. We'll have counselors on deck to do sessions with the girls and do evaluations and things like that, and just raffles. And so we're putting that together now. We're actually working on that. In terms
Are
of
they girls you currently counsel? You've counseled in the past, or are they just are these girls that you've identified coming out of the system that need potentially support and additional care, and this is kind of an introduction for them?
so these are girls that that I'm currently mentoring even now.
Okay.
Yeah. And so and even if I didn't mentor them, I have a group of girls who they have made me their mom, I guess you could say. But I just from teaching, I have a lot of connections with kids, with youth. And so I just, and I do invitations and I just have kids to invite other youth and it just happens like that. So, and we're going to invite, families, parents. And so that's what we're starting to do now, start getting the invitations out so they'll have enough time to plan and prepare and so forth.
Okay, and if somebody wants to be a part of this, get involved, whether a volunteer at when the home is up and running there, or a volunteer with building with these fundraisers or counseling or any of those needs, where do they go to find out more information about the opportunities that you have for this?
Sure, we do have a website. They can go to jjshomeofrefuge.org. Pretty straightforward. JJS homeofrefuge.org. So that's the website. And then they could email us at info at jjshomeofrefuge.org. Same thing, just info at the beginning.
Okay,
And
and are you also on some of the social media channels where they can follow you and kind of see what's going on if they want to learn more?
we are getting there. I have a little bit of a Facebook, but I haven't really put a lot of content on there yet. So work with me. So I have a young girl who's helping me. I'm not real good at the media stuff, but one of my board members she's really savvy. I think she's like 23. And so one of my young board members, she's going to help me with my medias and do promotion. So look forward to that. Instagram and what is the other one? TikTok?
There's all sorts of stuff out there now. It's
Please.
no worries at all. Well, let her know she's about to have a video that she can share on your social media and introducing you to the world. So once we get this thing up and running, well, that sounds awesome. So we talk about opportunities. If people want to get involved and donate, are there links on the website or pages on the website where they can click on and make donations directly to the organization, or how does that work?
Yes, they can click on contact us. They can also send us a email and said, hey, I would like to support this mission. I'd like to know how I can give. I have a QR code I can also send you, and I have it here. I don't know if I'm holding this the right way.
You end up first. Yeah, there.
But we do have a QR code as well. Maybe I could email it to you. Is that
Sure.
possible? Okay, I'll email it to you.
And is it on the website itself?
Yes, it should be on the website.
Okay. Well, awesome. That should be easy for people to find it there then. Good deal. That's the most important place to have it, I'd say. um, well, wonderful. You told us a lot about the organization and what you're doing. It sounds like it's a pretty good organization for teens, maybe even young women, young adults to get involved in, just because they can kind of help out other people who are very similar to them that may not be as fortunate. We've gone over a lot of those opportunities that you've talked about. Are there any opportunities you know of coming up other than the gala event that you've got in October, or any type of projects you've got coming up that we haven't covered that you'd like to share before I let you go?
Yeah, so that one is in December, and so we're working on one for May, and it's going to be more like just an awareness, talking about mental health, depression, anxiety, And we're working on the venue now. It may be like at a Chick-fil-A parking lot. And so I'm working on that now. So I will definitely keep you posted on the time, the day, and so forth, so we can get some people out, because mental health is a serious thing. And these young ladies have endured a lot. The stories that I've heard and what I've witnessed with them it's just been a lot. And so very traumatic, and they need that healing in order to thrive and get a job and get in school. First, everything starts with the mental well-being first, because nothing else is gonna be in alignment if that's off. So we start there.
Cool. Well, thank you so much for joining us and telling us about JJ's Home of Refuge 316, and letting us know about the website where people can go and either donate or learn how to get involved or reach out to you, as well as Facebook where they can follow you and help share the news of the mission and build things up. I hope people will get involved and want to be a part of something like this. Eh, but I really want to say thank you for coming and joining us and just telling us about the mission, Andrea.
Thank you. I'm so grateful. This has been an honor. I'm just very grateful, very grateful. I'm so appreciative. Thank you for the work you're doing to support us, because we need it. We need all the help we can get. All of us organizations who are trying to make life better.
Well, that's awesome. And that's a great way to put it too. That's what these organizations really are about, making life better for people that maybe need an extra helping hand. Thank you for joining Meet Houston Missions. And again, this is Paul Cannon with Simmons and Fletcher. If you have a mission out there that is looking for help, looking to get the word out, let us do it. There's no charge for it. Just send us an email and let us know a little bit about it. Only criteria is that it's got to be the local Houston area, and it's got to be actually hands and feet doing the work of trying to help people out. Thank you so much.